Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Command Your Confidence. And today I want to talk about some of the downsides of casual dating. You're probably thinking, why? There's a downside to casual dating? Well, yes there is. Just like anything else, it has its pros and its cons. But I want to let you guys know, I'm going to put a card up here. You can check the video on it. I did about a year ago on the benefits of casual dating. So I did do a video on the benefits of casual dating. And I have nothing against casual dating. I think it's good. But I also, I've just started to realize that it does have some of its downsides to it, and it's important that you know about that, because if you get too carried away with it, you might really forget a few things, or you just might get lost. So let's get rolling here. So one of the first things that when it comes to just casually dating, which can be really bad, is, it can take up a lot of your time. If you're just out there meeting up with women just to hook up all the time, that involves a lot of time. You got to take the time to actually go meet women, whether it be on the dating apps, whether it be in person, whether it be at a nightclub, whatever. And that takes time. And sometimes you go out on dates, they don't work out. So it's like a numbers game. You'll go out on dates and you'll have your successes where you'll casually be able to have a casual relationship with someone. But then I realized too, that's very short. Very rarely does if you're casually dating someone, very rarely does it last more than 3 months. I've noticed that it goes anywhere from like a week to 6 months. My longest has been a year. So you got to keep that in mind too, that it's not going to be forever. Eventually, everything that is good eventually comes to an end in this type of, when you're playing the game like this. And it's an experience for you. And there's a lot of things you'll learn along the way. So yeah, it does involve a lot of time. I got sidetracked there, but it also too, like I was saying, when you finally hook up with these women, it's not going to be forever, because if you're not having a commitment with anyone, they're not going to be around, especially, if there's a woman who wants a commitment from that. I had to learn the hard way from a life situation, with this girl I was with, the effects of, not making a commitment when she wanted one. But it's all about life, and that's just what we do. So that just could be a benefit, just kind of be you can learn from certain things as you go along. But another thing I noticed that is really bad about casual dating is, I think sometimes too, we get carried away with casual dating. We don't think about anything else except having sex. We just want to just have more conquest and just build upon that, because it's like an ego thing. And I think we kind of lose sight of what we really wanted. Because I know starting on this journey, if like myself, if you're a guy who has not had a lot of experiences with women, or who has not, especially sexual experiences, yeah, you want that. You want to be able to have those experiences in your life. But I think at some point you lose sight of what it is you really want. You want to find someone too who you can have a connection with and eventually have a relationship. Now, I'm not saying everyone wants a relationship, but I do think because we get carried away by this, that we kind of tend to forget that maybe we want a relationship. So when a person comes along, you might not, and is open to having a relationship, you might close off because of that. And that could be a really bad thing, because you can miss out on a lot of great opportunities. But if you're just a guy who doesn't want a relationship, then you don't even need to worry about what I just said. So, but I just want to talk to point that out for the guys who probably wanted a relationship, but going into this self-development for yourself and wanting to become good with women, we first think about just, going in and just having a lot of sex and everything. We forget about maybe wanting to have that relationship. So that can be another downside to it. You just kind of forget that who you are sometimes. And then sometimes it does get lonely. You'll go through a period where you'll have some dry spells, but you'll have your period where it goes through successes. But that's always a good thing, because if you're a guy and you have a lot going on for yourself, or if you're working on a lot of goals in your life, when you have those down times, when you're not going out with a lot of women, dating casually, hey, you got stuff you can work on and everything, and so you're just working on yourself and just moving forward with that. But in the end, though, you do have that time where it just gets, you know, you kind of wish you had someone around and stuff. But it also teaches you like to learn to be okay with being by yourself and not having to rely on anyone. And you know, and sometimes you know, I've been in situations where I've made some, you know, I wish I could have gone back and changed time on things, but I mean, I wish I could have gone back in time just to change how I, you know, handled a few of the girls I was with, because there were some girls I was with who I thought would have made great girlfriends, and maybe it would have been time for me to take a break from all that. But you know, like I said, it's a learning experience, and it's definitely a good thing that, you know, sometimes you have these downsides in the player life, because you kind of realize, okay, you're learning what it is you want and everything. You're learning how to navigate this and everything. You know, this game of life, whatever you want to call it. But no, it's definitely a good experience. And you're just saying, like, sometimes we tend to get caught up in all that. I mean, and I think, you know, the fact that we want another thing I would have to say, like, just not, another thing I would have to say is that I think sometimes too, because if we focus more on just wanting to meet a lot of women, we don't focus on, you know, one person. So when you have a connection with someone, even girls want to date casually too, but one of the downsides is too, it's really hard sometimes to build that connection because you're not focused on building a connection with someone, or that person's not focused on building that, you know, connection with you, because it's only casual dating. And so at some point, like, you know, you're gonna come to realize too that, you know, it's pretty much you're gonna have some connections with some women and everything, but sometimes that can be short term or long term, just depending on your situation and everything. But eventually, like I said earlier, if you're not gonna, if one person wants to commit and the other person's not, well, the other person's gonna just walk away, and that can be hard to deal with sometimes. But I guess if you just find someone else, then you get over it, right? But you know, so sometimes, yeah, it's just you find it hard. You have to close yourself off sometimes just to avoid connecting with someone, and so that can be another downside to it. And what I've learned too, like from a situation, is, you know, when I spot the signs of a good girl who I bring into my life, who I'm meeting on this journey again, like, I'm gonna not, if I see that she can be a potential person to have a relationship with, I would probably not be as closed off as I have been before, because that has really kind of, I think, affected me from being able to open up to some, you know, wonderful women who I've met on my journey and everything. So there you have it, guys. I just wanted to share with you some of the downsides of living the casual life. And like I said, hope you guys found some value from this. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with casual dating. I support it, but I just want to let you be aware that there are some downsides to it, and you know, so that way if you notice them, you can figure out what would be the best path to take for you. So hope you liked the video, so be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys again on the next video. Rock on!